Hey guys, welcome back to yet another episode of Slow with Kevin and Esther. We haven't been around for a while, so it's good to catch up.
I have been around.
You have been around?
I think you have been traveling.
Oh, sorry, it's my fault now.
And
Okay.
it's March right now.
And
We have not recorded a single episode for these
maybe we
podcast
shouldn't
channels.
tell everybody online. But anyway, yes, we haven't.
Yeah, so we're back
So we're back, yes.
with juicier topics.
Juicier topics. So, yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about? What's this story I heard recently about couples who are married
Yeah?
but not married anymore, in a sense. So to ease out or to minimize the inconvenience, they've decided to still share the same house.
Yes.
Not divorced, but same house.
No, there's this scenario that came out in the news. So this couple wrote an article and it went viral. So they were sharing how in order for them to keep their relationship healthy,
Yeah.
they chose to move in together but have separate rooms.
Move in together but have separate rooms.
Right? And they're in a relationship. So
Are they
but-
married?
no, they're just in a relationship that they chose to live together.
Yeah.
So then it's the comments that were really interesting.
Okay.
Because a lot of people kind of resonated with it and said, yeah, that's how it works for us because, maybe my husband snores and I couldn't cope with this, so I'd rather go to another room and sleep peacefully. Some said, yeah, they steal my blanket and they wake me up and I can't sleep, so we rather have separate beds.
In the same bedroom?
In the same bedroom.
Okay.
Then there was one user that said, well, I guess if you look at it that way, now it could be separate beds, right? Or separate rooms. Why not separate cities, right? Or separate continents,
Wow.
if you want to keep the sanity of the relationship. So the comments just went on and on and on, and I thought it was an interesting topic to talk about. So I posted it on my IG just to get a glimpse of what people feel like.
Yep.
So what do you think? I said, separate rooms, same room, different beds, or same room, same bed?
Okay.
What do you think? So majority of my followers said same room, same bed.
They prefer.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
About
Okay,
50%,
that's cool.
right?
Yeah.
Probably that is people would say the old school way of thinking about relationship. So I wanted to talk about this today. What's the right thing when it comes to dealing with relationship issues like that?
Okay, the traditional model is definitely same room, same bed,
Same bed.
same blanket. I remember when we first got married, I thought maybe we should have a separate blanket, and you were not too impressed.
No, even for us, sometimes when we get to a hotel, that sometimes our host book for us, and they so happen they booked like a two
Twin.
beds.
Yeah.
We would also sleep on one bed. Well, that's after years of marriage and being used to
Yeah.
each other, and probably that stems from our beliefs too, our upbringing. But with where people are at, and there's so much of the self that people talk about, it's getting more and more common that when it comes to lifestyle or my well-being, like, why force it, right? If I really can't sleep well with the snoring, why force it? Can't we just, everything else works fine. When we sleep, just go separate rooms. That is where they're coming from. What do you think?
I think what we are discussing is the outcome. What we have not attempted to answer is the motive. Some people who really tried their whole lives and just not possible because the husband snores way too loud that the wife could not sleep. And they end up in separate bed or separate room, but they are deeply in love with each other. They really love and share this life together. it's just not possible. And when I say exceptional cases like that, it's like way too loud, kind of a snore, way too loud. But if I enter into a marriage and everything is about, we haven't even tried, okay, we're going to do everything separate. I don't see a reason why then you still want to be together. Now, we're only using the bed as an example. Everything else is the same. After that, how about sharing a car? Right? Do we go to work together? Since it is, it's taking way too long for me to get to work.
The other day, I had a similar issue. This client was having a tough conversation with the long distance boyfriend.
Long distance.
All right, so they're apart. Now, this is really in separate countries. So she said the boyfriend was struggling because he feels everything's going too fast. I thought we agreed to go slow. They just started the relationship. So then she said, what does slow mean? Right? So he said, I don't want to have to worry about telling you everything. So it's simple things like sometimes she just asks him like, hey, what do you eat for lunch? Who do you eat with? He feels she's controlling him, wanting to know everything, and if he doesn't report it, he feels guilty, and then he gets stressed about it, and he says, I don't want to have this kind of worry. I think this scenario is similar, isn't it? It's like if you enter into a relationship, first and foremost, you think about what you're going to lose out on or what you're trying to protect, then I think it's very hard to build trust.
No, I think that the simplest way of looking at it is that this person is just not ready for relationship.
Yeah.
He's just not ready to opening up his world or her world to have somebody coming into their lives, because relationship must be something that you actually enjoy and look forward to sharing. So if you're not enjoying it and you are not looking forward to sharing your day or listening to your partner's day, I guess you are just at a place in your life where rather you are better off just living on your own, and you're already in separate cities. Then why do you still want to be, considered to be in a relationship? Because you're already in a separate city. What if you meet somebody else that you look forward to telling your day, what you eat, the salad that you had, So maybe sometimes we use too many different words to quote, like quote something that is truly what we are feeling or thinking, or not having the courage to say it. I'm done. Say it. I don't want to say things like, I don't want to lose the freedom that I'm being controlled. It's just, I don't want to tell you because maybe I went out with another girl for lunch, and why do I have to explain that? So if you find yourself not willing, not wanting to explain that, then it's either you are not ready for a relationship, or maybe your heart is somewhere else. I think it's just as simple as that.
So then would sharing of space be a higher level of a similar issue when we talk about motive of a partner, right? Why they get into a relationship? Why do they get into a long-term committed relationship?
Yeah, because I think sharing that space is not just sharing the bed. It's also sharing the intimacy, and it's not just sharing the physical intimacy, but also the emotional trust, the conversations, the relying on each other, and me choosing to tell you what I'm thinking and me choosing to listen to you. It happens in that space. If bedtime, you go to your room, I go to my room, I look at my phone, you look at your phone, and you talk to someone else, I talk to someone else, before we end the day, why do you still want to have the tag of we are in a relationship together? But after that, it's like you can have your own lunch, I can have my own lunch, you can have your own dinner, I can have my own dinner, and we just come home. and maybe we just share costs. We're not sharing life.
Only when the urge arises, we
What
share the
urge?
same room for intimacy. Someone said that in the comment. Well, when
No, but why is it? My question is, I have no problem, like, you want to share your urge, so you end up in the same room. But why on that occasion you're willing to share room? And that is actually possible. So I think maybe just everyone is for themselves. And if everyone is just for themselves, then that's not how relationship is built. Relationship is built when both parties is for each other more than for themselves. If we are continually just thinking about how about me, how about my well-being, how about my welfare, how about this and how about that, how about me, you are going to struggle, right? And so yeah, if when we find moments where we can share the same thing together, the same space together, and we're happy about it, only when we feel like it, then it is really just about ourselves. And as long as I feel that it is to my advantage, I'm happy to share, to reduce costs, or
and for us, our bedroom or the marriage bed, it's always sacred,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's something that we believe in. That's a space where, of course, intimacy happens, but conversations happen, fun happens, relaxation happens, tough conversations happen. So as much as we can, that's a space that belongs to us.
Yeah.
And I think to a lot of our listeners out there, maybe this is not something that you were exposed to, or nobody told you that, or it's not something you believe in. But for us, this is something that if you truly cherish the marriage and
Yeah.
you want to build longevity, you gotta put in real intention into creating that space, isn't it? And usually it's the most private space, which is the bedroom.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where a deeper level of security, safety, intimacy,
Trust.
emotional closeness, trust can be built.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people see it wrongly. They're so focused on all those other things that are not working out, but they don't focus on building that safe space, right, for each other.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's true. If you are listening to us today, I think when we recognize what is sacred and we don't desecrate those places, it will actually be more meaningful. I don't think the bed was created as a place of misery or torture. It is really a place where things don't happen in isolation. Trust is not built in isolation from intimacy, and intimacy is not built in isolation from communication, and communication is not built from in isolation to maybe trust again. So you cannot just have sex and go to the room and not having sex, so we go separate room and still expecting that we can build trust, build communication. So I think when we see things are all on its own, that's when we will miss out on the beauty of how everything's supposed to blend in together. Whether it is beautiful, sometimes tough, ugly, sometimes messy, but life is really built from all this one.
Yep.
It's not built on just one aspect of life. So to many of you who are listening, if you're not in a relationship, maybe this is a theory to you, but I hope we would have deposited something in your heart, in your mind, that for you to understand that all these spaces in our lives are actually interconnected, from our inner world to our personal world, to our family world, to our social working world. None of that stand in isolation of each other. So
And if you are in a relationship and you're thinking of going to the next level of commitment, it's important that this topic becomes a conversation starter for you to talk about living together, a future together, building life together. What does it mean? We hope this has truly tickled your mind.
Yeah, or spark something in you.
Yeah. And this is a tough topic. It's our first podcast recording for the year, and we went straight into it.
Yes. So, yep, let us know what you think. Give us your feedback. Text us.
Share this podcast recording with a friend or
Subscribe.
a partner.
And like.
Yeah.
See you on the next episode. Take care, guys. Bye.